All right, well,
That's
welcome
funny.
everybody to Fuzzy Forum, the most ghetto Twitch TV show you've ever seen in your life. We're here today with my teammates, Goatsy and Tire Iron. You may
How's
know
it
them from
going?
Halo, you might not, because you're a bunch of Call of Duty kids. But Zach, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
I'm Goatsy. I've been playing competitive gaming since '09. Columbus MLG '09 was my first event, and the Dallas exhibition, the first. I think it's the second Halo Reach event at Dallas. I went pro, and now since MLG has dropped Halo, I'm playing Call of Duty with Basher, who I've teamed with forever in Halo, and Tire Iron from Canada.
From the Canada.
Yep.
Well, that's a good time to transition over to you, Tyler. Introduce yourself.
Alright, well, I guess I've been playing competitive video games since 2007 is when I first started. I went to my first MLG event in 2008 at Toronto, and I mean, I didn't have as much luck as Goatsy here, but obviously we teamed in Halo 4 before the switch that they made over to the Call of Duty, but we decided as a team that we wanted to go over and give it a try. We're a couple of us last, obviously. A couple of us had to have some team changes, and
Yeah,
the squad we have now, so everything's going good.
yep, the squad's coming over good. That actually transitions good into our first subject of the night, which is the Halo transition. Being that we all come over from Halo, and a bunch of people are actually coming over to Halo from Halo to Call of Duty now. Um, what do you think of the game so far? Like, have you found the transition easy? I mean, I kind of transitioned back to COD 4. I saw the death of Halo like 3 years early, but
Well, I find it somewhat easy because, I mean, it's a first-person shooter, so, I mean, all you gotta do is find out the angles and capture the flag and hardpoint, figure out the spawns. I mean, your shot's always going to be there. And, I mean, the teammate situations, just working and playing off your teammates is very, very similar.
yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed, obviously, that Halo's gone, but, I mean, Call of Duty is going to be awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know we were having this discussion yesterday about Halo, competitive Halo being more mainstream, but
Yeah.
since about Modern Warfare 3, I found that the Infinity Ward and Activision have been doing a really good job at promoting the esports side of things with tournaments like the Call of Duty Championship that's coming up for $1 million, and with Call of Duty XP with Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Halo had a show every Saturday morning on USA, and T Square got on MTV. And I think even MLG Halo was on a different channel at some point, but
It was on G4 TV for 3 years or so. I remember watching it when I was in like 2007, back
yeah,
in the Halo 2 days.
yeah, that was just crazy. And then they had uh, T Squared's face on Dr. Pepper, and now even after Halo's over, they have Neighbor on the Gunners.
Yeah, that's. You see where you're going with that, but
Huh?
yeah. So Call of Duty is still, but when you look at the sorry, I just had a brain fart. When you look at the YouTube scene, you have a lot. I don't want to say more people, but
I would say more.
there's a way bigger casual scene that they're yet to break on. Like when you look at the playlist, there's like 400,000 people playing every day
Yeah,
plus, and they're all playing like domination pubs or team deathmatch.
yeah,
You got to figure out a way to like transition those people over to MLG, and see, or at least watch some of the best players do their thing. You know?
yeah. And that's where I felt that Halo in Halo 3 did a really good job coming out with the MLG playlist. Because, I mean, when I started, I literally just picked a playlist at random. I mean, and just played. And if you're going to go into MLG, like, eventually, if you just keep going into MLG, you're going to learn what MLG is, who the top players in MLG are, and stuff like that. And I feel like Call of Duty is well on its way in doing league championship matches and having this big tournament for $1 million.
How about you, Tyler? How is your transition over from Halo?
Um, it's been relatively easy in my personal opinion. I've played Call of Duty obviously like a fairly high level since COD 4, but I always stuck back with Halo in the end, and now that I see the bigger opportunity in Call of Duty, like Zach was saying, or Goldie, sorry, it was basically um, just you need to learn a few spawns. Hardpoint, you need to learn some anchoring spots, but I mean, other than that, the game is a lot more about positioning than it is anything else, and it's easy to take that skill from Halo and bringing over to Call of Duty, which gives us a slight competitive edge as well because of our Halo experience.
I agree with that too, especially because Call of Duty kids, they don't really have that LAN experience. They all think the game battle is a serious business.
And
Yeah.
see, what you guys were talking about a minute ago or so was the access you had with Halo to a competitive playlist was very simple to get into, especially in Halo 2 where there was no MLG playlist, there was nothing, it was just called Team Hardcore. And what they did in that game is they took out the stuff people didn't like and they put in a more competitive playlist for everybody, and it wasn't just singled towards a specific group of players like the MLG playlist was in Halo 3. Obviously that was well done as well, but the Team Hardcore especially just sort of opened up the eyes to a lot of people, and that's what League play is doing in Call of Duty, which is just basically taking the stuff that people don't like and letting it play at a more competitive pace right away
Yeah.
in the League play, which opens up the eyes to a lot of players and brings a lot more opportunity to the game.
Treyarch has always supported the competitive community, even like starting in Black Ops 1, they had the competitive playlist, it was called competitive, but it was just MLG settings. They added that towards the end of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like Call of Duty in general is just really picking up where Halo left off. And I mean, because they have such a big casual following, like way more so than Halo did, I feel like that could honestly just make MLG Call of Duty explode and maybe get back on TV, maybe even get bigger than Halo 3 was, Halo 2 was, especially Halo Reach and Halo 4.
Halo Reach is so bad.
Yeah,
That's actually good.
I like that game.
Our next topic here is about that League play. How the XP glitch, we don't exactly know how it works or why it happens. All we know is that apparently if you back out when you're on a win streak, you
You beat people that cheat.
yeah. Sorry. Wait. do you actually know how it works? I really don't know how it works at all.
I honestly don't know at all.
Well, okay. So the rumor is that if you back out of the game after you're on a 3-game win streak, you lose the 10 points, but you get plus 50 for the 2 wins again. So some teams have like 77 wins. They have like 15K experience. And I know every team in the top 8 right now has over 12K experience, but most of them have over 150 wins in their pro teams, so you'd expect it.
Well, 150 wins will only get you at most probably like less than 4,000 experience.
Well, you're only expecting that they're winning every game in a row. You can't determine when people lose with that formula.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But I'm saying like the top pro teams probably won't have as many losses.
Well, I know
So
Complexity hasn't been cheating, and they're in 8th, and they have I think they're 215th now.
215 wins. Yeah, that makes sense.
I just hope that these people who've exploited the glitch shouldn't be rewarded with having the opportunity to going to a tournament that teams like us, that if we could, like, we're committing time to it, we're putting as much effort in as possible
Even though
to
they can't
to do it legitly, and it's pretty much impossible to catch up from a deficit at that point. But if these people that cheated would be eliminated, it might be a little bit easier for us to have the ability to actually compete and prove that we're worthy of a spot.
Well, what's really kind of shenanigans about the way they're doing it is Canadians can only compete at the Call of Duty Championships if they finish top 8 at Dallas. When Americans, okay, so they're expecting us to fly across the continent first off to go compete in Dallas, for us to compete in California.
Hmm.
Think about how much flying they're expecting us to do.
Yeah, see, that is unfair to me. That's unfair as well. Like, that's
Yeah.
asking us to commit an extra, because I looked at the prices for me to fly from Toronto to Dallas is going to cost me around $700.
Is that one way or two way?
It like the both
Oh, well,
ways.
that's not terrible.
So,
When I looked, it was like
but I mean, like, come
1,500.
on,
It's still,
that's
Extra money.
it's expensive
yeah,
though. I
exactly.
mean,
It's not like money you just have
it's
to throw around.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if someone makes the top 8, I mean, I can understand people consider like Canadians it's harder to play them online. But I mean,
It's
so many people play Call of Duty that a lot of the times Canadians are playing against Canadians. So I mean, it's going to be the same thing as like East Coast, West Coast, like in the United States. So I mean, I can understand like not letting teams from like Australia they get in the top 8. Like I can understand that because I mean, honestly, Australians are rough to play online.
well, we all know that. Like I saw
Yeah, that's
they're even flying kids out from Asia and stuff. They have their own way to qualify, like
yeah,
the Europeans did. But
exactly. So I mean, I really feel as though Canadians should get the exact same opportunity as Americans.
well, they're saying we do with Dallas, but the thing is, they put it at the other end of the continent. I would understand if it was in New York City or New Jersey, Maine, or let's even say Chicago.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
they put it at the other end of the continent. It's not so much you have to cross the country; it's across the continent.
But think of it this way: like Americans have two ways in. They could do Call of Duty League play, or they could go to MLG.
Yeah,
Canadians can only just go to MLG.
let's be honest. League
I
play is a lot easier.
Yeah, and also you can do it from the comfort of your own home, which a lot of Call of Duty kids have done game battles and taking game battles really seriously. I feel like this is a good transition to a LAN event for those type of players that have never like went to a big tourney or things of that nature that they can just play online right away and qualify for a huge $1 million tournament.
Speaking of plugging a LAN real quick, May 4th and 5th in Niagara Falls, there's a tournament called UGC. It's up for 10 grand. It's in Halo 4, Call of Duty, and NHL. Team pass is about $200, and Canadians are allowed to compete in it. So you should go to it.
Well, it's in Canada. That'd be pretty awkward.
Everybody,
If you're allowed to compete.
everybody's welcome to compete in that tournament though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's a
discriminate.
typical LAN tournament. It's gonna be a good one. I'm pretty excited for that. I haven't been to a LAN in probably a year and a half. I'm really excited.
Oh man,
To
the
get
only
some
lands
LAN
in
in
Montreal
again.
we get is at this place called Nemesis, and we get lucky if we get 16 teams. So I'm excited to go to a big LAN.
Yo, we get freaking 4 teams here in Iowa.
That's because you're all busy watching the corn growth. If everyone shows up
Yeah.
to the LAN, who's gonna grow the corn?
Fast more than anywhere else.
You have one LAN in Toronto, and in a it's in a mall with like 14 TVs. It's pretty
And
rough.
like big screen TVs.
They're monitors and everything, but I'm
Plus.
like you got to bring your own mix amps. You got to bring your own everything. It's pretty
Yeah,
rough.
it's like what it is at my LAN center as well near
Like
me.
jail.
It's
It-
you know those little square 19-inch monitors?
Yeah,
You got.
definitely not nice.
But the first Halo 3 tournament, I swear to God, there was at least 24 teams, but there's only one station, and it was best of 3. So we would play round 1, and then we would go out for lunch, and like go to the mall. We get right beside Fairview. I don't know if anyone knows where that is, but
I have a fair view here.
so yeah, we just end up going to the mall and coming back like an hour and a half later, and to wait another 15 minutes to play round 2.
Like MLG events.
Basically.
Yeah,
One round and then 7 hours later, round 2.
yeah. You're lucky. Even if you have a bye first round, you gotta wait a whole 7 hours with no warm up.
Well,
That's the worst.
I know. Yo, I literally played Winter Strike round 2, went up to my hotel room, took a nap, and then came back down for round 3. I did that every single round until like
Just have a nice power nap.
Yeah, it was. I really feel like it helped me.
Gave you the competitive edge. You're more alert.
Yep.
all right. Well, that actually brings us into our next subject, what would be considered a good placement at Dallas? Because everybody knows in Halo, AM kids could finish top 24. They're considered decent.
I mean, with the amount, how many teams?
Right now,
They limited. I think there's
they're trying to sell 196.
no. They it's the limit for teams for Dallas is I think it's 206 or 207. I can't remember the exact number. I saw it on Twitter earlier on Sundance's Twitter. It was like 200 and something. But they're pretty much sold out. And judging by that, I mean that's essentially as many teams as you had in a Halo 3 at its peak. And by that, I would judge like maybe top 24 to top 16 would be a high quality team.
I would say that top 16. Sorry to cut you off, but I would say top 16. I feel Mike wasn't or Fuzzy before when MLG had Call of Duty wasn't only top 8 pro teams.
But that's also because they only opened it up to 154 teams. And it was on PS3, and they couldn't even sell that out.
Okay, I would say top 16 should be pro now for sure. Yeah, and then like way back in the day, like I would say top 32 should be pro bracket. I don't know if they're doing that or not, but I mean I would feel like going to the first tournament.
Kids semi-pro status against like feel good about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I feel like that's how they need to do it. Sorry to cut you off as well. I feel like that's how they need to do it to get the game started, like they did in Halo 2, Halo 3. You had the semi-pro, which
there's too many kids running. I hate to cut you off now.
Go ahead.
Too many kids running around on game battles calling themselves semi-pros. That
Yeah, I agree.
Play one game type and they get really good at map gen, but
it allows the amateur players something to strive for, is what it is, because most amateur players are most of them, if they haven't had a lot of competitive background, they're in the mindset where they are not good enough to be considered a top 16, top 8 pro. Is most of their mindsets.
Yeah.
So that giving them the opportunity to say top 32 is like semi-pro. That opens their gateway to, hey, I can get here, and then from getting here, I can get the pro. That's how I feel like they need to do it.
I agree.
Well.
Also, I'm sorry. You go. Okay. Well, back in the day, I used to go to like all the MLG Halo events from Halo 3 all the way to through Halo Reach. I mean, when I would go in the Pro Lounge or just walk by the Pro Lounge, like all the Xbox stations would be taken up, and then there'd be like 2 rows of like Call of Duty, and no one would be in there. Like literally, there's spider webs all over that place. Like no one would be in there playing.
Well, to be fair, that was PS3's fault. Yeah, nobody.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't really trying to make a point. I was just, I guess, being
just pointing out facts.
Yeah, pointing out facts. I wasn't trying to be a negative Nancy. I was just saying, I feel as though Call of Duty is going to be way more people are going to take advantage of being able to go into the Pro Lounge and warm up, because I feel like that is the biggest advantage, because when you go to MLG events, you pretty much can't warm up. Like the majority of the time, you're not going to have any time to warm up. So having that pro status and being able to go in the Pro Lounge and warm up against even like other top teams, I feel like is such an advantage.
Yeah, it really is, especially being able to stay warmed up.
Yeah. On LAN too. I mean, some of these people like haven't LANed in a long time, and I mean, adjusting to LAN is an adjustment all itself. So.
Oh well, that's a terrible picture. Never mind. I was trying to bring up the setup of what it was going to be on stream, but it kind of is a very small picture.
Are we live yet?
We are live. We've been live.
I'm just joking.
Can you imagine?
We just been talking about this stuff, just just for shits and
Yeah.
giggles. No big deal.
All right. Well, that's a good segue for. We're probably all gonna be biased on this, but there, I'm not sure. Tyler, you haven't been playing enough to really know this yet, but Zach and I know all too well the scuff players, the
Hmm.
flying squirrels, the
Hmm.
kids that just jump around a corner and they just spin around in circles and they just rip you and they jump away like a bunny rabbit.
It's
And as soon as we go to talk bad about scuff, he lags out.
hello.
Yo, you there?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
been
okay,
here.
the call dropped for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Did you hear what I said though?
Yeah, I completely heard. I just I was comparing it to soaring on Halo 3.
So
But like the thing that I have to say about that is, I assume you guys are talking about the controllers that like give you these advantage that you can do some crazy shit,
yeah,
right?
like you
Yeah.
get buttons
Well,
on the
like,
back essentially, and they
so
also
like basically
Yeah.
like
Tyler?
the thing is like soaring in Halo 3, that's not a competitive, like that's not a personal
I'm gonna be
advantage that
honest,
you're
I don't know what
taking.
soaring is.
That's okay. Say okay.
You're
This is
like
I'm gonna take a prime example. I'm playing
midship.
Midship Heretic. Is that what it's called on Halo 3? Heretic?
Yeah.
I'm P3, alright? And I'm like, there's a guy top car 3. I'm just like, yo, I got 3 shots in this kid. I'm soaring. I'm just jumping off P3 and crouching and everything, and he can't hit me. I'm taking advantage of the game by like
Yeah.
it's essentially the same idea, but the thing is like the scuff controllers, that's a personal advantage. This
It's
this is
not
what I
skill
disagree with
based.
what you were
Yeah,
saying.
It's a
This is what
modification.
this is what I disagree with what you said, Zach. Whereas like it's like soaring, it's similar, but the thing
I
is
would-
like everybody could do that.
I want to defend my comment real quick.
Go ahead.
I meant that it looks like soaring. I mean, I completely
Okay.
agree that it's not it's not competitively equal because
you have to go out and
it's a
spend an extra
modification.
$120 for the shit.
Yeah.
See,
That being
if-
said, Scott,
if-
send us a sponsorship and you'll hear nothing but good things. It's amazing how a dollar sign can change a man's mouth.
See, I could
True that.
I won't have a problem with it if it is said now. Oh, sorry about that. I just dropped something. It's if we know that everybody can use it,
Apparently, they're
that's
allowing
fine. If they're allowing it, that means that it's not really. That's your own fault for not taking advantage of something that they're giving to you. To a point.
it. Well, I actually published an article earlier today over at onespawn.com.
I did read that article. It was a very well written out article. I agree with you,
Thank you.
on the article.
I actually quoted Kill KC where he said the sole reason why you can't allow the Razer Onza, which is essentially the same thing, is because you could open it up and add a rapid fire thing and you would never tell the difference.
Yeah.
But the thing with the scuffs, I also said in the article, is they have these things called trigger stuffs. And what this allows is it allows you to just pull down the trigger as fast as possible. And as soon as you get that second to where the button actually registers you hitting it, the trigger pops itself back out. So it's essentially a rapid fire mod.
That's interesting.
I hope they don't allow it, but at the same time, I mean,
Yeah, I guess it is what it is.
their reasoning behind it is gonna have to make sense.
Well, it's
So
definitely, it's
that's
definitely
really-
a money thing.
Yeah, if they have the sponsorship deals and they're giving them sponsorship deals and that's what they want, then so be it.
I just don't want to say anything negative, so that's why I'm not talking.
Uh,
I'm okay with being negative, but nothing too
I'm straight
negative.
up with people.
Well,
I'm gonna give my opinion, but if someone wants to put a dollar sign on that to make it stop, that's all good.
I mean, I just feel as though MLG. I don't know.
MLG should
I
be
just-
the place for the true skill to come out on an even level playing field.
I agree, and I feel like that's what MLG used to be. But I mean, I would say for the probably past 3 or 4 years, it's become way more corporate and way surprisingly, and it's just kind of an oxymoron. They've become more corporate and less professional.
Unfortunately, that's just how businesses run, though, right?
I
mean-
disagree with that because businesses are professional, or at least successful businesses are. Corporately, I agree with you, but
Well,
the professionalism of MLG is not, or at least from my experiences, is not normal business.
but the thing is, with MLG is their net growth has been steady every year. They've been like at least growing by a quarter every year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying they're like bad financially, business wise. I'm just talking about.
You just have a personal grudge, is all.
Ah,
To an
mm,
personal grudge to certain people in the community.
not in the community, not at all. People that work for MLG.
Okay, fair enough.
I would say everyone that works at MLG.
Except for Sundance, we love you, Sonny.
Yeah, no, Sundance is a good dude. I appreciate him. He's professional. He's a good person. I
And the
respect him.
commentators. I've never met a commentator that was an asshole yet.
The commentators
Yeah, no,
are all pretty sick.
I mean, Gandhi used to be a player as well, but I mean, I really respect Gandhi and Shockwave, like all those people. I really, really respect them.
The people I respect the most are the ones who have been still good, because 95% of the Halo community has basically just turned away. The guys that are still like dedicating themselves to it,
Oh yeah, especially
I
Ghost.
got mad props to them. You got people like Ghost, you got Walshy, Strong Side. Those type of people, I got mad respect for them just for the fact that they're
You gotta
still.
put Squared in there.
What's that?
You gotta put T Squared in there.
No,
T-Squared,
T-Squared
you
the
can't-
gaming though.
Well, no, I understand that, but he went to Dallas. I mean, he honestly, even when he was pro, like in Halo Reach, and I mean, I don't know about before that. I didn't know him on a personal level before that, but from Halo Reach on, like he didn't really game that much when he was pro, but he still like was an ambassador to competitive gaming, mostly MLG, and I mean, there's not much to game now in Halo.
Yeah, true.
Fortunately, not.
There's AGL, which is 24 teams, so that's great for those teams that are going for the.
And then
Well,
there's
40 now.
there's 40. There's the only event for AGL is New Jersey that has 24 teams. That's just a private event.
Like a combine type thing.
It's essentially none of the pro teams are allowed to compete at New Jersey. So the players that, because they're running a point system like they did in MLG with AGL, any players with a certain amount of points are not allowed to compete because it's for like it's essentially like a local
Yeah,
LAN. It's what it feels like.
It's like a combine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a combine.
Okay, so I get it.
That's why there's less teams, and the next Nashville obviously is going to be a full sized one, but
But what's full size for them? 64 teams?
48. I think it's 48.
I guess you gotta
It's
start
a
somewhere.
it's a four pool. No, what is it? Like a 16 maybe or something like that. Don't quote me, but
I went to AGL Chicago over the summer, which was before Halo died. This is a Halo Reach event. I believe it was 24 teams. I'm pretty positive it was 24 teams.
here I'm gonna look it up right now just because I'm curious of. There you go. Yeah, it's a. New Jersey's the 24 team. The 24 team. Nashville has a total of. How many teams? Oh. 1 sec.
But anyways,
Uh,
let's just keep going with the show.
48.
So-
Yeah, it's 48 team pool play. My fault.
What do you guys think of MLG deciding not to ban the select fire FAL? Do you feel like that's a big deal, or it's not that big of a deal? Because everyone's using scuff controllers anyway, so they can shoot faster with the trigger stops without select fire.
So they are you saying what do I feel about them banning the select
it's
fire?
not
Like,
banned. What do you feel about it not
it's not
being
banned.
I personally feel that it's good if they're gonna keep scuffs. I feel like that just kind of, doesn't level the playing field, but I feel like it takes that step.
Especially because most Halo players, we're not idiots. We all know how to claw. We're not like little 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
We don't have little 12-year-old hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't. It doesn't really matter. I feel like, I mean, Call of Duty is so
Don't say it.
No matter
Don't you say what you're gonna say. Don't piss off our
no,
only
no,
viewer.
no matter what, no matter what we do, no matter what you do, if you have the better shot, even if you have an automatic FAL, if I have a better shot than you, I'm still gonna kill you.
That is absolutely
It's
not
it's
true with the automatic FAL. You obviously have not gone up against that gun.
Especially,
I have gone up against it and I have used it. It's not that overpowered. It's overpowered, but it's not like to an
Dude,
extent
have you
that
tried
it
hip firing with that thing point blank?
hip firing point blank is unfair. I can agree to that, but I mean like
You can't lose a gunfight with it. Let's be honest. If you have thumbs, you
it's
can't lose a
pretty
gunfight with it.
possible, but still, I don't see the big deal in it. It doesn't affect me.
I'm in the same boat as if they're gonna allow scuffs, you might as well allow everything. Like, just screw banning anything. Give me my RPG, damn it. It's in the game for a reason. You got my jacket.
yep. Well,
I'm kidding, obviously, about the RPG.
I mean, that'd be hilarious if they allowed rockets.
I would have some serious fun if they allowed rockets. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, yo.
It
Also,
would be great.
can you have pickup weapons on the map?
No, you cannot.
That would be awesome if they did that. I mean, that was the most newbie question like in the history of
Call of Duty
ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
You can tell this guy's a rookie to Call of Duty.
That would just be awesome if they had like rockets or something.
It would be. I agree with that.
OS. It'd be cool. But
You know one thing I think they should ban though?
What's that?
I think they should ban overkill.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's really annoying having like the guys. Well, actually, I don't know
I-
if they
I don't-
should
This
because
the thing I don't like that I can pick up. I can have a sniper in my inventory. I mean not in my inventory, in my back pocket, right? And I have my like assault rifle or my SMG of whatever preference you use, and I can set it on a map like standoff, and I can just pick people across map, and then as soon as I need be, I switch over and essentially don't use it. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's unfair, but at the same point, it's everybody can do it, but I feel like it still should be removed.
I get it, but it also adds in that basically in Call of Duty, competitive Call of Duty, you always got punished for sniping. I feel like if you leave overkill in there and people actually start using it, it's gonna make for a lot better plays, a lot more entertaining games. Like, let's be honest, who doesn't love watching a guy jump out of a fucking window, spin around a couple times, and blame somebody? It's just awesome.
I agree.
that actually offends me
Yeah.
when that happens.
Zach doesn't like Dave. He doesn't like ballerinas. But
I'd probably be a little upset if that happened to me.
oh, I used to do that so much in Black Ops.
It hasn't happened to
Especially
me
for
yet,
another
but
game.
if it did happen, I'd probably be really disappointed.
Yeah.
I would probably cry in a hole for a couple days.
They should ban the M8. Just saying, if they want to have.
Don't even get me started
Oh,
about
God.
that. That's
Yeah.
my favorite gun in the game. You're
I just
just getting your
wanna-
teammate really mad right now.
Okay, I just feel like the gun balance on this game is really, really good.
It is.
I mean, this depends what people want. Do they want balanced guns or they want a dominant weapon?
In a game like Call of Duty, you need balanced guns because of the different roles that each player
Black Ops 1
needs.
was terrible for that. Everyone just ran around with 4 losses.
No, there was literally you wouldn't see a game without every player using a FAMAS.
Well, I occasionally
think.
used, or unless it was on Summit, you could pull off an AK, shotgun,
Yeah.
or a Spectre.
But I mean, like 97.89% of the games, everybody had a FAMAS.
Is that an actual
It is
statistic?
actual
No, it
statistic.
was just well, yeah, I pulled it out of my ass, but we're calling it an actual
This
statistic.
is a fuzzy verified statistic.
Write
Goddamn
it down.
it.
It's verified now.
It's official.
Okay. Well, I mean, so if we're gonna go balance, I feel like it definitely should be banned then, because that's a really unbalanced weapon. I mean, it's just dominating. I mean, everyone uses the M8.
Honestly, on
I feel like there's a good enough balance in this game because it does what it's supposed to do. It is a long range. It's a quick fire, long range, 4 burst weapon. It makes sense. I understand why you would think it's relatively unbalanced, but at the same point, I feel like it needs to be in the game because the way it works is like there's never games either where it's everybody has an M8. It's like you got your guys using your MSMC or your PDW, or like
Yeah.
you got guys running your submachine gun classes. You got your guys running your assault rifle classes, and not everybody uses the M8.
No, I agree with that, but
Especially because the M8 you can balance, or it's countered by the AM really, really well.
See, I'm a little biased on that because personally, M8's my favorite weapon. It's probably the weapon I'm the best at in that game.
Also, there's never been a Call of Duty where there hasn't been a good 3-4 round burst gun.
See, if you think about it, if you think about it, through every single Call of Duty, you got the M16, COD 4, you got the FAMAS,
the Type
Type 95.
Type 35, Type 95 was the most overpowered gun in Modern Warfare 3.
Most overpowered gun of all time, except for the Modern Warfare 2 ACR. Freaking laser.
that gun was pretty.
ACR was the most fantastic gun ever brought into a Call of Duty, in my personal opinion. I love that gun.
Was awesome in Modern Warfare 3 as well, though.
I agree.
Alright.
We sort of just ripped off topic right there, though. Peacekeeper?
Do you think that gun's going to make an appearance in MLG? Do you think Treyarch's going to give them the DLC code for it, or it's not going to be used?
No.
I think they will. I feel like there's.
I don't feel like they will. The reason for that is, you can't do that for one reason, and it's basically you cannot do it because of all the players that won't have it.
Well, no, that's the thing. Everybody will have it if it's on LAN. Everybody has what's on the Xboxes. And Treyarch
but then like some people have to learn a new weapon if they've never used it before. But
let's be honest, everybody's picked up that gun and just realized it was the God gun. Like who hasn't picked up that gun yet and just been like, "Holy
it's essentially
God."
it's
the FAMAS.
It's got the firepower of an assault rifle. It has the range of an assault rifle, and it has the fire rate of a submachine.
No, it's got the fire. It's the commando from Black Ops 1 with the mobility of an SMG.
I agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's literally got the same reload animation. The only thing different is it's got a blue flare when it shoots.
It's the most amazing gun you could ever touch in the game, to be honest.
I'm kind of excited for the next DLC to see the next OP gun they add. The FAMAS version.
It's gonna be a sniper that freaking also is.
And shoots rocket launchers.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a cool idea what they did though. They actually they've never done something like this before. So like I can understand why they wanted to make it relatively overpowered for the first time. Like this is literally the first time they've ever brought a gun in. You want people to use it, so you throw some extra power into it so people realize what it is and want to buy the DLC and whatnot. It's a good marketing strategy, if you ask me. I think that's a great idea. But I feel like, back to the original question, I think it will get banned. Regardless.
I mean...
Zach, I think you're the only one here that actually owns the gun. So what's your opinion on this?
I own it. Don't worry.
Okay, never mind.
I just don't use it.
I personally feel like there's two parts of this discussion. One, should the gun be banned because it's overpowered? And two, will Treyarch give MLG the code?
Well, I just think to go off, but Treyarch already said if MLG wants it, they give them the DLC codes.
Oh, okay. So that would be what I would think, because MLG, or at least Sundance, and I'm not sure who is like the higher ups at Treyarch, but
David
I mean, that guy, Vondahar, and Sundance seem to be a little bit too friendly. So, I mean, that's what I would expect. And just because of that, I really feel like MLG's going to ask for it, whether they'll use it at the event or not. I mean, my personal feeling is it should be banned because, like I said, of the weapon balance that currently is in Call of Duty, I feel like it's really good. And I feel like that gun, it could just be another FAMAS that everyone uses.
Well, definitely, because you can shoot cross map and you can still run flags.
Exactly. So,
well, that's.
I mean, you never know with MLG.
Yeah, you can never be too sure.
It's a crapshoot every time on every decision.
Yeah, they do a bunch of messed up shit for sure.
But you gotta love them still, because they're the only ones doing it.
They're getting big, that's for sure.
Getting big.
Big.
Especially with them Koreans.
Can't wait till they're as big as Worlds for the League of Legends. That's when shit's gonna be serious.
Have you seen the new layout though? It's actually awesome. They're gonna have Call of Duty in the
When
middle, StarCraft on the left, and League on the right.
when they have a
And,
tank
wait, hold on.
built around the venue, then it's top one.
No. They're bringing back the dome. Like, they remember the old,
Oh, really?
the old stage?
Yeah, they are,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, they're
They're
back
bringing
to the
back
main
the
stage.
yeah. They're bringing back the commentator tower and
Or
everything.
call
That's sick. Oh, that was the
That
best
was
thing
good,
about
dude.
my first.
That's one thing I always wanted to see with fucking Puckett's stand.
Who cares about Puckett? Come on now.
Are they doing that for Call of
Yeah.
Duty?
Puckett's commentating Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
Puckett, Fwiz,
Yeah.
Hastro, and Corey Dunn, and Fwiz.
That's cool. I like that. I mean, I've played on main stage before, and there's nothing like it. Honestly,
It's exhilarating.
the chairs are even better.
Everything about it's better, man. There's nothing
Dude,
bad
I'm
about
the
it.
only
It's great.
person on our team that hasn't played on main stage, man.
I
That's
mean,
so
I
good.
don't know if it was just me when I was up there, but I felt like air conditioning blowing on me when I was
Dude,
there.
you just feel. You know what you feel? You feel like you feel as if you're untouchable, and you're just like, fuck yes, everybody's watching my screen.
I'm just gonna
I'm the
go off.
best. I'm winning.
I
That's
don't know,
pretty much how you feel.
I just feel like I'm ready to game, and I'm
Well,
just,
like it's partially like, yo, I'm gonna win this game because I'm on main stage. I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just how it was. It is sick.
Well, that's pretty much all I got for the show, but I'm not gonna let you guys go yet because there's something we have to talk about, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Now, you live in Toronto.
I live in
And you're a
Toronto.
hockey fan.
I'm not yes, I am to an extent. But all I'm saying is the Toronto Maple Leafs are not a good hockey team.
Are we or are we not ahead of every other Canadian team in the league?
That's besides the point. You can be ahead of every Canadian team in the league and still not be good.
Are we or are we not making the playoffs this season with a
You're
team?
not making the playoffs.
At this point in the season, are we not making the playoffs?
It's impossible to judge something
Are
a quarter
we-
way through a season.
If the deadline for the playoffs was tomorrow, would we make it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Our team consisting of 75% AHL players. That's a yes. Our team
That's
of
a
a
yes.
bunch of rookies that's never played in the NHL are doing better than your team. How does that make you feel?
Makes me want to hang off the Skype call right now and just cry myself to sleep. Yeah, that's besides the point, though. Like I said, then like I'll tell anybody in the world, they are going to choke. It's the Leafs. It's in the Leafs' nature. It just happens every time, no matter what you do. They can have a God squad on their team. They're still gonna choke. They could have Crosby, Ovechkin, Datsuk, Malkin. They could have Jonathan Quick and that. They could have the best team in the NHL, and they would still not make the playoffs. You want to know why?
So they're Toronto Maple Leafs?
Because they're Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's okay, 'cause we're still better than the Habs. Good night, folks.
that's the last thing you're getting.